Museum opens an exhibit curated by a Chicago-based artist, and it's titled The Echoes of Presence and Place. This exhibition brings together key installations spanning more than 4 decades. From sidewalk stains to shower puddles, artist Michael X. Ryan turns these imprints into physical works of art. He hopes these works, including those shaped by Chicago streets and art depicting a tree of interest from a family property in Woodstock, will allow people to see how these spaces reflect our presence and passage through the time. The exhibit